What I was saying was Michael Jackson to have you going all night, man. Michael Jackson to have you going all night. It is day 2 of 4. And guess what? We just getting started, man. If you missed yesterday, I don't know what to tell you. We handled the number one problem hurting most Americans, whether you got a degree, whether you married or single, whether you're educated or not, whether you got a job or not. There's a huge problem in this country, and it's killing your finances. I can't recap that tonight, but I'll give y'all a little taste. But I'm on to the next topic tonight, man, because there's so many things in capitalism that keep us from succeeding financially, right? So for those I've never met, my name is Brian N. Bean, and I'm the founder of an organization called the Extra Digit Movement. And what that means is we show you how to grow your net worth one digit at a time. But we do it using strategies, not sales, not hype, not products, not a bunch of fluff. I'm not mad at people who want to help you get in shape, but I want to help you get in shape financially. I'm not mad at people that show you how to travel the world, but I want you to travel on your own dime residually, right? Or somebody else's dime even residually. I'm not mad at people who sell you widgets and technology, but I want to show you how to become a person who owns technology, become a person who owns what we call the fabric of America. All ships rise with the tide. So if all these prices are up and daycare is up and healthcare is up and your stress levels are up, if everything is up, why not take your income up with it? So we started Extra Digit because I realized in hindsight, I'm improving my net worth one digit at a time. I started as a broke college Morehouse graduate making 3 figures every 2 weeks. I'm not knocking that. I'm just telling y'all it didn't work for me. I didn't like the same money coming in every 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I knew what my direct deposit was going to be. It was so boring. I'm like, all right, $976.13. It's coming again in 2 weeks. So I'm like, man, how am I going to like ever become wealthy? Because that was my goal. Then I started making 4 figures a week from home. So I went from 3 figures to 4. Then I started making 5 figures a month from home. Now I start having 5 figure weeks from home, on my way to 6 figure months from home. So you see, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now I stand before you guys as a 7 figure earner on my way to 8. Blessed enough to be in the top 5% income earners in the country. Why? I'm about to show you guys why. Y'all think it's hard. Making money is not hard. Becoming a millionaire is not as hard as you think it is. But what it takes is a mindset shift. We can't get new money with the same old habits. You have to destroy the way you think about money, because a lot of times the thoughts you have, they aren't even your original thoughts. Did you guys ever think about that? A lot of the thoughts you have about money, a lot of the thoughts you have about life, a lot of the thoughts you have about relationships, they're not even yours. Somebody planted those seeds on you. So because I'm not a relationship guru and because I'm not a life guru, I'm not even a money guru. But I did have people who were making 7, 8, and 9 figures when I was broke pour into me. And I spent the last 25 years giving that knowledge back. So all I'm doing is giving you guys what I was given, and that's a life worth living. Everybody come off mute and say, let's go. If you're excited about this week,
Let's go.
Let's
Let's
go.
go. Come
Go.
on, let's
Go.
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 Man, if you type in Extra Digit Movement on Facebook, and then you can share this with people that you know all over the country, and they can see it. Over 100 people are watching me in the Zoom. That means several thousand will see the replay, and it'll hit tens of thousands over the next couple of months. Let me just tell you guys this. I want you to write this down. This hit me many, many years ago before I get into today's topic. Something has to work, just not me. That's one quote I want to give you guys, and that's a nugget. That's a quotable. You can stamp it. Something has to work, just not me. That's the first thing I learned. Now, another thing I learned was this. This is a big one. Get ready to sit down or get ready to stand up. Just do the opposite of whatever you're doing now. Your money is going to make someone wealthy. The question is who? When I heard that one, your money's going to make somebody wealthy. The question is who? So I'm going to show you tonight who you're making wealthy if you're not careful. I showed you last night. You got to get with the person that invited you to get last night's replay. We were in the zone last night, over 100 people again, all right? Several thousand will see the replay. We were in the zone last night because what we realized is that you can make 40, 50, $60,000 a year. You can have an undergrad, master's, PhD. You can land a great job and your family will still struggle financially. And the reason that is because, again, somebody planted in you that budgeting was the key to success. Budgeting is a small piece. It may not even be 1% of what you need to do to be financially successful. Chevron versus Shell is not going to make you wealthy. It's 2 cents, 3 cents, 10 cents. Eating out versus taking your lunch is not going to make you wealthy. I know Susie Orman taught you that stuff in the Financial Smackdown and all that. I get it. But she sold a whole bunch of stuff, but she never told you that the key to wealth was doing what she was doing. They never tell you that. David Ramsey never told you the key to wealth is doing what he's doing. He'll get the big scissors and he'll cut up credit cards and make you feel bad. But he never said, you need to own a business. See, that's what we do. We not only educate you on the power of owning a business, we give you a business in a box to go with it. And at the same time, we do free things like this to show you the mindset it takes to become successful. So nobody ever told you that budgeting is 1% of what you need to do. What you need to lower is your taxes. That's your biggest expense. Let me tell you, your taxes, that expense is so big that you don't even know how much they're taking. Let me tell you what I just said. A lot of y'all missed that. See, you know exactly how much you spend at the grocery store because somebody told you to budget that in. You know exactly how much you spend in gas because if I drive so many miles to work, so many miles home, add some fluff on the weekends, go to the gym, you know about how much you spend in gas because there's a barometer, right? There's a meter. You don't even know how much sales tax, property taxes, ad valorem taxes, federal taxes, state taxes. You see what I'm saying? Then you get up there, you get luxury taxes, capital gain taxes. When you die, you leave an inheritance tax. You get taxed like crazy. So just your federal taxes is a third of your money gone. Just your federal taxes. We tackled that last night. So if you make $40,000 a year, $3,200 a month, did nobody tell you don't take nothing home but 19? I'm going somewhere with this. This ain't just a recap of last night. You take it home $1,900 a month. So what you do, you qualify for your house though, and you qualify for your car. This is systematic oppression. You qualify for your house and car with your gross. But your gross ain't what you get. You get the net. So now, when you qualify for the car with your gross, but that is not what you receive, and you qualify for the house with your gross, but that ain't what you receive, you already behind the minute you fill out the paperwork. The reason you're behind is because you've amassed this thing called debt. And the reason you have debt is because you overpaying taxes. Taxes and debt are brother and sister. Now, I'm just telling you guys, you ain't got to believe me. You can go back, you can cut the Zoom off right now. You can say, this man don't know what he's talking about. My biggest expense is my cell phone bill. Okay, good luck. Drop it from 119 to 99 and tell me if you get wealth, right? Switch from Verizon to Sprint and tell me if that makes a big difference in your wealth. It makes a big difference in your budget. You don't have to believe me. So if the government's taking a third of your money off the top, you work for the federal government from January, March, April. I'm sorry, January, February, March, April. So for 4 months, you work for the federal government because a third of your money's gone. So a third of 12 is 4. So you only work, you worked for the government for 4 of the months. They're strategic. They sprinkle it out over the course of 12 so you won't feel it. So if the government said, if your job says, you know what, you're gonna start in January, but we're not gonna pay you till May, you'd be like, well, I ain't working here. But guess what? That's what they're doing. They just sprinkle it and ration it over the course of 12 months. But you really don't start getting paid until May. And then tonight's topic hits you between the eyes. Debt. Oh, I told you. The governments and banks are brothers and sisters. Y'all didn't know that. So now, because they took the taxes off the top, the banks kick you in the bottom. Now you're in debt. Y'all thought I was here to sell you something, right? Y'all thought I was here to convince you to do something. Y'all thought I was here to put up a link for you to join something. No, I'm just giving you some free game. It's Financial Literacy Month. So the bank kick you in the butt because the government took your money. So now you spend the rest of your life trying to make up what the government took. I showed everybody last night, you ain't got to spend the rest of your life trying to do it. Just stop getting a refund. Means again, fund means money. A tax refund is simply your money again. But you were sold that bill of goods because somebody else taught you to get a refund and not realizing you gave the bank a free loan. So the government a free loan. So in essence, your money's making somebody wealthy. It's just not you. Let me show you guys something before I pull up the sheet of paper. I'm gonna introduce you guys to some real people. Average debt elimination, $64,000 each, right? I'm just being honest. 39,000 years we've shaved off of our debt elimination schedules in this organization, people on this Zoom. Let me give you all a historical fact. The IRS was created in the early 1900s. Don't quote me, I believe 1913. So if the country was founded in 1776, independence, they discovered this land, even though the land had occupants on it, but that's another training. If the country was discovered in 1776 and the IRS was invented in 1913, what was everybody doing between 76 and 13? So the IRS became a tax or a debt collector just about a century ago. Everybody hear me? Do you think it's a coincidence that the Federal Reserve was also started around 1913? So the IRS was created by the federal government as a debt collector for the banks the same year. Oh, Brian, they're not brother and sister. Okay. They damn near twins, just to be honest with you. So if your money is making somebody wealthy, you have to ask yourself this question. Is it you? So you doing all the work, you waking up every day, you the one putting up with your boss, you the one putting up with these crazy coworkers, you the one taking time from your family, you the one doing all these different things, rushing home, getting up early, spending 8 hours a day, sometimes 10, and you not wealthy? Systematic oppression. So you work for the banks from May, June, July, August. So the government took the first third of your money, the banks take the second third of your money. So now you left living off a third of what's left. And if you notice, that's August. So here comes September, October, November, December. And you know what happens then. Oh my goodness, do I have to tell you? Labor Day, Halloween, Brown Thursday, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Christmas Eve, Christmas, New Year's Eve, New Year's. So then you spend the fourth quarter spending all your money because now you're celebrating because they took all your money the first two. Oh, they got us good. Ooh, they got us good. They say you will make $1 million between the ages of 18 and 65. Everybody on this Zoom will have made $1 million if you just make, I think, $12 an hour. That means $1 million will pass through your hands. Yep. The question is, why aren't people retiring then with at least 360,000? You had $1 million since you've been 18 years old. I mean, passing through your hands. They systematically took it from you. Let me give you all a quote, and I'm gonna show you a picture, and I'm done for them. Watch this. Write this down. Interest is the penalty you pay for the right to own things in advance that you cannot afford. Interest is the penalty you pay for the right to own things in advance that you cannot afford. So in essence, anytime you pay interest on something, you're saying, I need it that bad, I need it now, and I'm willing to pay more for it than it's worth. Now, I want to be perfectly clear because I got some investor buddies and they'll cut my head off if I don't qualify this statement. I know you need a place to stay. So I'm not necessarily talking about your mortgage because how many people can come out of college and buy a house cash? I know you leverage the banks. What I'm talking about tonight is revolving debt, not installment debt. I just told you guys, I purchased my 5th piece of real estate, but guess what? I bought it cash, right? So only reason I was able to get it cash is because I gave myself a cash infusion and I leveraged other assets along the way to get to a point where now I have a whole bunch of cash and I don't have to use the banks if I don't want to. Stay with us and you'll start learning those things. My point to you guys is this. Revolving debt is what kills you. Installment debt is what you can use you don't have to worry about paying off in record time. Don't beat yourself up about installment debt. But that revolving debt, those credit cards, they will destroy your finances. So if you need something that bad and you need it right now, that you're willing to pay more than it's worth, good luck trying to get wealthy because you haven't shifted your mentality yet and you're still using credit cards as leverage and not paying them off by the end of the month. Let me show you what happens to you. Let me show you what happens to you when you do that, right? Numbers don't lie. So I'm gonna pull up something right here called the bloody mess. Let's say everybody, while I got your attention, I'm back tomorrow, same time, same Zoom. You're gonna love tomorrow's topic because I'm gonna flip it in your favor. So make sure you guys mark your calendar for Wednesday and Thursday. Tomorrow night, same time, same Zoom. So I told you guys this, right? Interest is the penalty you pay for the right to own something in advance that you cannot afford. Those are the blanks. The penalty you pay, something in advance that you cannot afford. So everybody knows this person. They keep carrying a $5,000 a month credit card bill. They like, hey man, I'm cool. We went to Disney World back in 1984. And they still paying off on a Disney trip that they took the kids on in 1984. All right, no problem. I've been there. I've been broke as a joke. Trust me, I'm not being judgmental. We got to just show you the consequences of it. So the bank, they're your friends, right? They're always your friend. The bank says, don't worry about it. Just give us $100 a month. There's a reason they get you and give you a credit card when you are a freshman in college. There's a reason a bank will give you a small balance when you are 18, 19 years old. Because studies show you will stick with that bank forever because they believed in you enough to give you what you thought was money. But they didn't tell you, as your good friend, is that most people in college can't afford to pay it back. They run it up. Now their credit takes a hit. Now the bank make more money off you because your credit score is in the 5s and 6s. So that's by design. So your friend, Mr. Banker, says, don't worry about it. Just give us the minimum payment if nothing else, and we won't hurt your credit. What they didn't tell you is they're making a ton of money. Here's how you got to calculate it. If the interest rate on your card is, say, 21%, I've seen as high as 28 for people. And then I see people with 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. How do I know? Because it was me. I owe Visa, MasterCard, and Discover. Then eventually Discover was trying to discover where I live because I couldn't pay him no more. So I'm not judging you. I'm telling you, I know people with these scenarios times 3. I know people with these scenarios times 5. I've been doing this a long time. I retired when I was 22. So I've been helping people mentally understand this stuff for decades. Watch. Y'all know how in college we take in school, you take the 21%, convert it to a decimal. So you got 0.21, same 21% on line 3. You move it down to line 4. Now, here's the magic. This is the secret. You got to divide that 0.21 by 12. right? That gives you 1.75. That is how much it's compounding monthly. See, when you hear 1.75, you don't think that's hurting you. But see, that's because you've been trained to think simple interest, not compound interest. That moving decimal from the 21 to the 0.21 divided by 12 months gives you the monthly rate. Now we're going to show you what the bank is doing to you, and I'm going to introduce you out to some people, and we out. You move the decimal back and make the 0.0175 1.75. So what we got to do now is take the 0.0175 and multiply it by your balance. If the balance is $5,000 on that Disney trip you took back in 1984, Brian, I wasn't even born in 84. He ain't talking about me. Okay, you too. You took a Disney trip in 2005. You old enough to still have a credit card now. You was born in 05, right? So you almost 20 now. Take the interest rate, I'm sorry, the decimal, 0.0175, multiply it by 5,000. Your interest payment is $87.50. So what that means is every time you send in 100, $87.50 was free to the banks because you needed the Disney trip so bad, you put it on a credit card. Nothing wrong, get your little points if that's what you like, but it needs to be paid off by the end of the month. So that 0.0175 won't keep kicking you in the rear. So would you make a trade if every time you gave somebody $100, they gave you $13.50 back? Okay, that's roughly what you're doing. Let me show you. So now you got to take the $100 that you've given them and subtract the interest payment of $87.50. And now, I'm sorry, instead of $13.50, $12.50 is what the bank is applying towards your $5,000. Boy, when you understand how much money you giving them on $5,000, I'm about to show you. So it'll take you on line 7, your reality is it'll take you 120 payments. Woo, at 12 for 12 months. Woo, that's 10 years you're gonna be paying on this thing. So you went on the Disney trip in 2005 and you still paying on it in 2015. Some of y'all bought furniture back in the 70s, that old shag carpet, you still paying on installation. And ask them a serious question. How are y'all getting trust funds? How are you becoming the bank? See, we become the bank. How do we have 750, 790, 800 credit scores? How are we buying assets and our net worth is growing? How are we eliminating $64,000 in debt? We got experts to do all this stuff on our behalf. The person that invited you is going to show you how we refuse to let that be us, where an extra $7,000 is going to the bank. I talked about this yesterday before we go. Lost opportunity cost. Wealthy people call it the future value of money. That $7,000, I'm gonna hurt your feelings real quick, but you got to hear this before I go. That $7,000 works for the bank forever. I call that, it just goes off into the ether, right? permanently, perpetually. You gave them a free $7,000. So they can invest your $7,000 risk-free because it's not their money, it's your money. So your credit card went to somebody's car note. The bank then took your 7,000, my 7,000, your friend's 7,000, your family 7,000, and loaned somebody a car for 28,000. It was our money. Then the 28,000, your 7,000 is still in there. When a person paid that car note, the bank rolled that into somebody's mortgage. Now somebody got 250,000, 390,000, 620,000, $1 million house. Your 7,000 is still up in there working. Then that mortgage went on somebody's student loan. The bank is called arbitrage. They can loan that money 10 times. So your 7,000 now is paying for somebody else to go to school. So you are paying for somebody's college education. It just ain't your kids. So when you think about it that way, you'll stop giving away free money. When you think about it that way, you'll contact one of us to put you on this Zoom quick. Like, hold on, man. How do y'all stop the bleeding? How are y'all doing it? It's basic math and wealth principles that they don't teach you in schools that we teach all the time. Financial Literacy Month. I do this all day, every day. I ain't here to argue with you. I ain't here to convince you. We're not here to fight and fuss with you. We're just trying to bless you. We're not trying to get you in something. We're trying to get you out of something. So you sending kids to school, they just not yours. Stop the madness. Look, before I go, there's some people that's going to tell you how much debt they've eliminated so far. Extra digit, do me a favor, raise your virtual hand. And we want your number tonight to be, what did our experts bring you back in your household as far as debt elimination goes, right? You ain't got to give us your millionaire date. You can give us your debt-free date, but do you have a millionaire date? Do you have a debt-free date? How much debt have you eliminated because of our experts? Let's crank this bad boy up before we go. Derek Ray, give the new people a number, man. How much debt you eliminate?
Hey, Brian, I eliminated over $50,000 in debt.
How much?
50.
$50,000 in debt. I tell y'all, the average is 64,000 in debt. I appreciate that, man. Ebony, come off mute. Talk to me. How much debt did you eliminate?
Hey, Brian, I eliminated over $19,000 in debt.
Woo! Ebony, where you from?
I am from New York, but I live in Temple, Texas now.
All right, I want y'all to do me a favor. Let everybody know what you do for a living, where you from, so you can tell them you're an average person getting above average results. What you do for a living, Ebony?
I am a retired Army nurse.
Thank you for your service, my sister. All right, Ms. Gwen, where you from? What's your number? How much you eliminate?
Hi, good evening, everyone. Mr. B, you're doing a fantastic job. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I eliminated $40,000 in credit card debt, paid off 2, and guess what? I'm eliminating. I'll be out of debt in 4 years, sir.
Thank you so much, Ms. Gwen. Let's go. 4 years, y'all. She at 40 grand, eliminated, gone. Ciao, bella, adios. Debt gone. Sonia, talk to me. Where you from? What you do? How much debt eliminated?
Hello, everyone. My name is Sonia Howard. I live in El Paso, Texas. I am a veteran, but I also work for the government as an administrative officer. So I'm just so happy because the experts were able to eliminate over $57,000 in debt. So instead of 21 years and 8 months, I'll be out of debt in less than 5 years. And that's with my mortgage, y'all. Pay attention.
Pay attention. Don't sleep on this. Monifa, what you do for a living? Where you from? New York.
Hey, Mr. B, you're doing a nice job, a very, very nice job. I'm from New York, Queens to be exact. I'm a postal courier. I deliver packages all day, and I was able to eliminate $34,000 in debt.
I love it. I love it. You got your debt-free date. You still going?
Yes, April 2031. I can't wait.
All right, I appreciate it, my sister. Y'all, we shaving. Y'all don't understand, man. We taking 30 years and 15 years and doing this stuff in 5 and 6 years because experts do all the work, and that's the main thing. Dr. Regina, talk to me. Where you from? What you do for a living? How much debt?
Peace and blessings, family. Brian, you're doing a fantastic job. I am a retired bus operator. Also, I have a degree in theology, my doctorate degree, and I have gotten rid of $51,491 in debt. And I'm still getting rid of debt.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, and I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn, New York, stand up, stand up, stand up. Hey man, I'm telling y'all. Now look, the people I'm about to introduce you to now have purchased homes, dream homes, land, cash, trust funds. See, once you get the debt eliminated, like tonight, and once you get the taxes out the way that we talked about yesterday, now we're gonna elevate you where we start multiplying your money. Now we're gonna teach you how to own nothing and control everything. Now you're gonna see how we're getting our dream homes built. See, what we do first is get your foundation solid. The person that introduced you to the Zoom, they're gonna show you how to get your foundation solid first, right? Let me start first with Miss Lynn. Lynn, where you from? What you do? How much debt eliminated?
Brian, good afternoon. From Key West, Florida, living here in Phoenix, Arizona. I didn't have much debt to begin with, but either way, my money is my money. So $5,000 plus back in my pockets in over 3 years.
Hey man, what we glad, look, the number don't have to be astronomical, right? You're not that person on that sheet that gave away $7 grand. That's the main thing extra. We appreciate it. Keep up the good work. Lynn is also one of our 4-figure monthly residual earners, right? You can share these videos and things like this. We'll show you how to get paid every day. Kim, I heard you bought a house and then you flipped it and then you cashed out and now you move, you helping your parents. Did that all begin with some of that debt getting off you?
It did. I was able to pay off over $25,000 in debt, bought the house, sold the house, and with that money, even I get back $1,800 a month just from paying that debt off because of using these strategies. And having that 4-figure residual income as well just makes it even easier because now I have a debt-free date of getting out of debt in 3 years completely. So, and I would make that a little bit faster with this money too.
That's right. That's right. And you know what, Kim, you brought up a good point. It's over 100 people tonight watching. Y'all all come back tomorrow, same time, new topic, right? Same pin code, new topic. Kim, you brought up a great point. When you're not paying those balances, the money stays in whose pocket?
It's in my pocket.
So now you got another $4 grand, y'all. That's a wealth principle called income shifting. You got another 4 figures coming in that the bank was getting because we eliminated it. Then you got 4 figures a month coming in residual income. Now you take that money and you invest it. That's why all of us on the road to millionaire status, because our software will show you what your millionaire date is and your debt-free date. So y'all got to get the software, man. Y'all got to plug in. Don, last night, man, I heard you. Well, last night you talked about the land you purchased, cash, your vacation home overseas. Talk to me about how that all got started. Did you get a lot of debt knocked out in order to get the 10 acres in Puerto Rico, et cetera?
Yes, sir. Eliminated over $90,000 in debt, which included credit cards, student loans, a couple of cars that we paid off in record time. So just paying all of that stuff off, Brian, it brought back, in addition to the $1,000 that the experts got us back with just adjusting our paychecks, then you bring in all of that money that we saved, without giving all of that interest to the banks and things like that, to the lenders. It just brought all of that money back in, which now that was able, actually, like Kim said, it allowed us to put gas on the fire, to go out and purchase the land in Cabo, purchase the acres in Puerto Rico, get the memorabilia collection, have a 4-figure residual income just by sharing this information. And truth be told, I just had a consultation with our trust expert today. So getting ready to wrap it all up into the trust as well. So I will be that person that changes my family's financial future. And it's because of this information that you are sharing tonight. So thank you so much, sir.
I love it, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Look, normally on Money Talks and Money Conversations, Don, people be hanging up, leaving. All 100 plus are just staying on the Zoom. And I appreciate you guys because we're about to get out of here. But I want you to hear from the man that also bought his dream home. He and his wife bought a dream home last year. It's been getting built for like the past 2.5 years. It's unbelievable. I've been there. It's time for me to actually come back, right? Go fishing. And this gentleman didn't even have a job. See, I want y'all watching to understand something. Like anything is possible, man. Anything is possible. God will make a way when there's no way. I'm telling you guys that right now. I actually had a brain hemorrhage on Christmas. I'm standing here before you guys doing a training, right? I was in the ER unit. They was talking about helicopters and flying me to a different hospital. And I was in the ambulance on Christmas. I was in the ER last year, 2023, from Christmas to New Year's. But because all these principles were in place, the residual income was in place, the trust fund was in place, ain't have to worry about a whole bunch of debt. I sailed right through the surgery. God is good, knock on wood, and he can open doors. He did the same thing for my good friend here, Mr. Charles Albert. Charles, no job during COVID, laid off. How in the world you building a new house and then paid off your other house and getting cash flow all the way around? How?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, Brian, this is my favorite class that you do. And it literally saved my life. I have saved over $300,000 in debt. And it's with that mortgage. You know, when you started moving those decimals, you know, I had a 5.7 interest rate. And my monthly payment on that house, which the house was $250,000, was $1,750. Because of moving those decimals around, I was giving the bank $1,187 off of a $1,700 payment. So I was only really shaving off $500 a month, $6,000 a year, but I was paying out of pocket $21,000 a year. Brian, when you multiply the $21,000 by 30 years that they had me sentenced to, that's $630,000 I would have paid for that house at the end of the 30 years of $250,000. But because of this program right here, I was able to pay off my house 14 years early. So I only paid out my pocket $294,000, which saved me $336,000 in compound interest. So, you know, when you think about, you know, I thought I had a good interest rate, you know, and I'm saying, well, my payments is affordable, but they were killing me because most of my payments were going to the bank and not off the principal.
That's right.
So by paying it off early, I saved 16 years. So I ended up saving $336,000.
Now you got your dream home, man. Talk to me about the dream home. And is it in your trust fund? And is your son set for life? How do we take that debt and get wealthy with it?
Right. So I did, because I freed up that money, instead of giving it out to the banks, I was able to purchase some land, cash. And because of this opportunity that we have, and the company pays a ridiculous amount in compound interest, you know, for just sharing, you know, this opportunities with other people, you know, it now pays the mortgage on my new home, you know, so I was able to build a 6,000 square foot home, and the company is actually giving me the money to pay the mortgage of that home. And because of the other products that we have, I'm able to pay this house off a lot sooner than the 30-year mortgage that I accumulated on the new home. So we're trying to get out of this thing in about 11 years now, which is going to save me a ton of money again, you know, because when you know better, you do better now.
That's right. That's right. Well, I appreciate it, man. The trust fund is in full effect. Hey, you broke any curses that you had, and now your next 5 generations, man, just off something that Grandpa and Grandma Ivory did, your great grandkids are forever grateful. And I'm grateful for you guys too, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, but let me say this, Brian, because you brought up a good thing with that trust fund. And I hope everybody that's listening will go out and get one. But because the house is in the trust, you can write off the entire mortgage, not just a percentage, because it becomes an expense to the trust. You know, so now it's the full mortgage, it's the full light bill, it's the full gas and the lawn service. You get to write off everything as an expense to the property. So you save even more money.
I love it, man. Different ball game. We're gonna ramp y'all up to those conversations. Charles, I appreciate it, man. It's a different ball game when you start writing off everything that a trust fund will allow. It's totally different than a business and a 1099. So listen, if you want to see this replay and you want to share this with people, you can go to our website, Extra Digit Movement, and click on replays. If you want to see yesterday, Extra Digit Movement, click on replays. So you'll see yesterday and today, so you can start getting your family indoctrinated into a positive mindset when it comes to money. I'll be right back here tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm gonna show you guys how to become the bank. See, first we showed you what the bank is doing to you, but now tomorrow we're gonna show you how to reverse it and actually become the bank. They got a secret. They're just not telling you, and we're gonna reveal it tomorrow night. Same time, same pin code or whatever, same Zoom. Bring some more people. We want to see hundreds of people see it live and thousands to see the replay. extradigitmovement.com and click on replays and get with the person who invited you so they can get with you, so they can get you the experts to start getting your finances where you want them to be. God bless. I'll see you guys tomorrow night, same time. Peace.